Good morning and welcome from a lovely spring morning here at Site B. This would normally be the time of day where I post the tabletop role-playing game news for you guys. But I started writing it and I realized I made a ton of mistakes. Then I realized I had to go to the store. So I was like, we'll just do it live. Let's just live off the cuff. Try something different. So here it is. It's time to open up your charts. Oh, a hawk sounds upset. Take out your tee sextant and take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game news stories to chart our week by. And of course, the number one story is the tariffs and how it's going to affect the tabletop role-playing game community. Is it going to affect the tabletop role-playing game community? Yes, it is. Sorry, it is. I cannot do the argument justice. I once again highly recommend you head on over to Roll for Combat and watch the video that Stephen Glicker made about the tariffs, or join Stephen Glicker and our good friend Professor DM at 11 a.m. as they continue to talk about the tariff tabletop role-playing game thing. So yeah, that's going to affect us. All right. Mongoose Publishing has picked up the rights to the Dark Conspiracy role-playing game and will start republishing it in 2026. If you're not familiar with Dark Conspiracy, it came out about the same time, or shortly after Shadowrun, Rifts, a lot of those games. So it's probably not as well known as Shadowrun. It definitely has its birthing pains from Shadowrun. It has the typical cyberpunk meets retro 1920s meets magic in a vaguely post-apocalyptic future. It also adds mutants, aliens, angels, demons. I think it even had superheroes of some sort. So it's kind of a kitchen sink Shadowrun, but basically it was Shadowrun. If anybody ever played it, ran it, please give us a shout out what you thought about it. But anyways, it had a decent lifespan and then it faded away, and now it looks like Mongoose has the rights and will be bringing it back. Could be good, could be bad. Yeah, the Shadowrun magic cyberpunk genre definitely is not as popular as it used to be. Maybe it needs a good shot in the arm, and maybe Dark Conspiracy 2026 will be it. Wizards of the Coast, bam 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 ba da dum bam 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 bam. That's so Wizards, bam bam ba da da. Wizards of the Coast has announced their new heroine for 2025-2026, and it's Breezy like a Sunday morning. Breezy, the daughter of Drizzt, is going to have her own adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Half drow, half human, I think. I don't know who, I guess the mom is. Is it Calibre? Is it, I don't know, whatever. So she's going to be the first half drow, half carrot, wandering around the Forgotten Realms. And she, of course, is trying to make her own way in the world and not rely on her father's fame, and try and find her own place. And it's going to be filled with all those things that Wizards of the Coast thinks we want in a book series. And I'm sure she'll show up in some adventure. So that was another announcement that came out of the brain trust of Wizards of the Coast, along with all the other news. And of course, the big Wizards of the Coast news, and the only other news really going on in the tabletop role-playing game community this week, is Chris Perkins announcing his retirement. He is taking his ball. He is going home. He is ending his association finally with Wizards, and I, for one, could not be happier. I went over this the other day when we found out the announcement. Again, I will just reaffirm that I think this is great. I think this is great for Chris Perkins. I think this is great for fans of Chris Perkins' work outside of Wizards of the Coast. I personally think he should have left a long time ago. I have said multiple times, mind you, with no actual proof. So don't take my word on it. I just, from my own perception, Chris Perkins has not seemed happy or healthy for a while. And those videos that he did with Wizards, but hopefully now he will take a long needed break from anything game related focus on health, focus on family, focus on friends, focus on his own work, and whatever he's going to do with the future. Probably go work for Penny Arcade in some fashion, considering his association with the Acquisitions Incorporated people. But yeah, this is the good news. Now it's a bad news for D&D. Oh no, more bad news for D&D. I know. Because Chris Perkins has been with them for 30 years. He's one of the last 3-point, 4-point RPGA, OGL, the last glimmer of hope for Wizards maintaining anything resembling a Dungeons and Dragons that we know and love. He was the last holdout of the old guard, of the people who actually mattered and cared. I know he was forced to say things and do things and kowtow to the Wizards of the Coast regime, but from my personal perception, again, no proof, my personal perception, he never seemed happy. He never seemed like he wanted to be part of it. The only time he ever really seemed happy was when he was doing Acquisitions Incorporated and stuff like that. So with him gone, it is my opinion that there's nobody left at Wizards who actually cares about D&D, and the D&D is dead. But that shouldn't come as a surprise, since Wizards of the Coast did once again tell us last week that that's the plan, that they don't really care about D&D the game. They want to focus on D&D the brand. They want to focus on Magic the Gathering. They want to focus on things that are going to make them money, and by their own validation, Dungeons and Dragons, the game, doesn't make them money. Because let's face it, you buy one D&D book and that's all you need, right? I don't need to buy anything else. There's no repeat buying. Once I have my player's handbook and access to the interweb, that's pretty much it. I don't need D&D Beyond. I don't need Roll20. I don't need any other books. Most of the information I would need that isn't in a player's handbook is free online. If I'm not running, I don't need the DM's guide, and even if I am running, I really don't need the DM's guide. Maybe pick up a screen, maybe pick up a starter set. But yeah, once I buy one thing for D&D, I don't need to buy anything else, and Wizards knows that. But dice, figures, maps, play sets, source books, meat snacks, hot pockets, those are all things Wizards can brand and continue to make money off. And and there's infinite amount of money they can potentially make off of Magic the Gathering. Infinite potential income they can make off of the figures, off the dice. I'm sure even somebody maybe bought the Dungeons and Dragons meat snacks. I don't know. But that's money, and that goes true for any industry that has that type of economy. From my days working at Target, the PlayStation, the Nintendo, the Xbox, those don't make money. You break even, If you sell the Xbox for $150, you're only making $150, but you pretty much paid $150 to get the Xbox on the shelf. On the other hand, the peripherals, the games, that's pure profit. That's where all the money comes from. That's where all the millions of dollars in the video gaming industry comes from the games, not the system, from the peripherals. The same thing with role-playing, especially the last, dozen years. So Chris being gone and it being the death kneels of Dungeons and Dragons, well, that's sad, but kitty. It's also kind of what Wizards has been telling us they're going to do. Hello, stray kitty. Hi, pretty. Oh, you lost. Oh, hi. Are you presenting? Oh, no, you have a collar. Hi. Hi. Oh, hi. Uh-oh. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm making friends with a cat. Hi. Hi, kitty. Oh, yes. Angel. Oh, my gosh, yes. Hi, baby. Hi. All right, well, this article has de-evolved into me saying hello to somebody else's cat, but what can I say? I'm a cat person. Hi, who are you? You have a collar. Are you a stray? I hope not. No, you've got a thing. Okay, good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. He's enjoying the sun. Oh, so pretty. Such a pretty kitty. All right, bye. You don't want to see me talking to a cat. That's the news.